guys, today we're going to do an operator guide for Operation Deep Freeze, including Tubarao, the new operator, for solo queue players. We're doing a solo queue tier list today. So how are we rating these operators? How effective and how it's going to, picking that up is going to increase your chances at winning the game as a solo queue player. So we're going to be throwing all the ops up together, but you're going to pair attackers versus attackers and defenders versus defenders. We're going to go top left and work our way as we go down, but we're going to start with Tubarao. So if you want to see any specific operator, just skip to the part of the video where we get to that point. So we're going top left and working our way down. So we're going to start with Tubarao, and we're going to use the yellow recruit for Tubarao. Tubarao to me is going to be an A tier operator. I think that his gun and his kit are going to be really strong in the roam and just basically dealing with anything that you need to deal with, and just your potential to frag out is going to be extremely high, but I don't think it's going to be quite S tier. So now we're going to go through these operators, go through them all. Ace, easy hard breach, got a good gun, can't go wrong with that. Alibi, good gun, good bailiff, ability is a little mid, but you do have speed, but you don't really bring much to the table in terms of slowing them down. So I'm going to put Alibi at the B tier. Amaru, I'm placing it C tier. Amaru as a solo queue op is a little bit... Amaru kind of requires a coordinated take, and if you're just bringing it in the solo queue vibe, it could be good or it could just be bad. Like most of the time I see people running Amaru in solo queue, it tends to end poorly. Rooney, B tier. Good gun, no speed. Don't get, don't get pressured and playing on sight and having to get taken from multiple angles. Ash, A tier. Good gun, soft destruction, a lot of flexibility and speed. Could be potentially S, but I can't quite put Ash at S tier next to Ace. I just can't do it. Zombie S. A zombie can do everything on her own. She doesn't really need any support. You're kind of on your own. Bandit, C tier. Bandit at C tier, SenVale? Well, Bandit's at C tier because Bandit is super goddamn annoying playing as him when you're solo queue. You feel like you never have any backup. So you're not tricking the wall. Not really. But what are you banditing? You have a good MP7 and a nitro, which are nice, but when I think Bandit, I think of a wall keeping close, and I can't really put him... I could put Bandit up higher just because he has an MP7 speed and nitro, which I guess I will, but his ability is lackluster in solo queue. Blackbeard, D tier. So I need to explain this. Blackbeard is terrible, especially in solo queue. Blitz, along with the Amaru, can be good, can be poor. You're not going to have that much backup. MP7 is an amazing gun. That's why Bandit. MP7 speed and nitro. Brava, D tier. Easy D tier. Easy D tier. By the time you're finished hacking cameras, everyone's going to be dead on your team. You need to get off your cams. It's just Brava is a coordinated stack operator, especially with the Maestro change coming up, with Maestro having 3 cameras and you can't cook grenades. So it's going to be exceptionally hard to destroy these Maestro cams with grenades. And there's not that much soft destruction. Brava's going to be incredibly good. But in solo queue, I just feel like Brava definitely falls down the list because you're spending a lot of time on cameras. And most of the operators that we have as camera-based operators are going to tend to be a little bit lower on the list. But because of the Maestro change specifically, I'm going to raise Brava up 1 tier because you can still at least counter the Maestro. Buck, A tier. You can basically do it all by yourself. Gun, soft destruction, hard breach charge. Buck has it all. Capital, I'm going to place at the C tier. He brings a bit, but it's not really a solo queue operator when I really think Capital. Castle, I am going to play... This is going to be controversial as hell. I'm placing Castle at I don't want to play Castle D tier, but I can't do Castle like that. I gotta play some C tier. Castle in solo queue, if you don't have a strat with your team or they don't understand the strat, all Castle's gonna do is just make everybody confused and lost. Cav, D tier, but Castle is solely strong, obviously, in certain situations. Cav is just terrible. Cav is fun to play, but Cav is terrible. Same with Flash. Don't really explain that one either. Doc in solo queue is, honestly, I'm going to say kind of a banger. If you can shoot your gun, heals are always nice. People aren't going to complain that you're Doc. Heals are always welcomed. And you have a ability to set the side up. You can set the side up, reinforce, run around, go crazy, and heal. Doke, S tier. Don't even think about that one. Doke is an easy S tier. You can coordinate everybody by just hitting that phone call. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Echo, camera-based operator. But speed, gun, and impacts, I'm going to say Echo is still going to be... You basically have to kind of forget about your cameras a little bit. So I'm going to place Echo a little bit lower because it is more of a camera-based operator. Yeah, because newbie, this is a solo queue tier list. Operators based on the fact that you are probably going to get almost no support from your team, and what operator should you pick in that situation? This is that tier list. This is not a competitive tier list at all. This is a ranked tier list for the average player that plays ranked, who's, I don't know what up to play. What's a good operator to play in solo queue? This is the list I'm going to show them. Ella can be, I'm placing Ella in B tier because her ability is nice on the fly to just throw around, and her gun's not bad, and she has speed. Can't go wrong. Finka, S tier, gun, grenades, heals that are global. Can't really go wrong with that. Finka is probably one of the strongest attackers in the game currently. We have Flores. Hammer-based op. Just make sure you do not have to use all 4 Flores cams before you go in with your gun. Use a few, see what your team is doing, and then situate yourself accordingly. If you have more time to use your drones, use your drones. But if you need to get a little bit more active, then you need to get active. You're not gonna have as much time as you would like. Twitch D tier. What? SenVale? Why is Brava higher than Twitch? Why is Twitch D tier? Solo queue, you don't have time to worry, like walk around and drone everything. And the only reason why Brava is slightly higher is because Maestro is going to be really strong, and Twitch can't really counter the Maestro cams in a real way, but Brava can. Frost. Frost is an easy A tier. Good gun. Shotgun for setup, and traps are never a bad thing, especially in solo queue land. Traps. We'll get to that, actually. I'm going to skip the line. Fuse. D tier. Easy. Fuse require you to go upstairs above the site. And you doing that by yourself, you're just waiting to get flanked. Glaz as well as D tier. Do not play Glaz in solo queue land. Goyo can be good, can be bad in solo queue, but he has good guns, speed, and impact, so you can't really go wrong with that aspect of him. And its utility is fairly simple and straightforward to use for most people. You see a Goyo canister, you don't want them to come in, you shoot the Goyo canister. Pretty simple. Gridlock S tier. Gridlock as well as Finka is one of the best sentries in the game currently. I see that progressing going forward because grenades are going to be, even I've tried them in the test server. Grenades aren't going to be as bad as people make them out to be. You bounce it on a wall in front of an enemy, and they do blow up pretty quick. Unless you like instantly react to a grenade coming, that grenade's still going to blow up in your face. You're going to have to run quick. So grenades are still going to be strong, and Gridlock brings a lot more utility and a good gun. So I do think that Gridlock is going to be still pretty strong. So let's talk about the new grenade ops. Let's go through those before I forget which operators they are. Blackbeard is going to have grenades, but again, Blackbeard I just think is still mediocre. You're going to have the Lion grenades as well. Sense grenades. The IQ grenades. I think I'm missing one, but we'll get to that before the end. So we talk Grim. I think Grim just kind of falls off a little bit with how many grenades are coming out now. There's just so many entry options, but he does have hard breach. That feels safe for Grim. Hibana, I am going to place at the S tier again because Hibana is very simple and straightforward and easy to use, and you're not really in danger while you're opening walls. Ayana, in solo queue at least, I gotta place her lower than Ash because no grenades. You do have a Gon 6, but your ability to actually enter the map is going to be a lot lower. Grim got EMPs. Okay. Grim has EMPs, but still, like, I don't see Grim being a massive EMP operator. Like, why is he outside the wall helping a hard breach get the wall open? I can't see the vision. IQ grenades, and now we are talking in solo queue. Honestly, I was an IQ hater for the longest, but IQ is speed, a good gun, or gadget's not useless. I mean, you can find enemy utility pretty easily, and now you have grenades for the entries and destroying enemy utility. Honestly, I'm gonna place IQ at the S tier. For deep freeze, IQ's back. IQ's back. Jackal, very easy to use in solo queue. You find the feet and everyone hunts the guy down. Very easy to use. Jaeger plays in C tier only because people aren't even gonna play around your ADSs, so it's almost a lot. Like, how often do you see people getting grenade when you bring Jaeger and with ADSs and your solo queue? People are just still getting grenaded. You're trying your best to place them correctly, but it just doesn't matter because Wamai exists. I feel like Wamai is just a more flexible operator with its TDM meta currently. You can just place them as needed. Wamai is going to be the S tier. The only reason why Jaeger is lower is because Wamai is just so good in the current meta. If we're talking smoke shield strats, Jaeger is better than Wamai. But if we're talking just like on the fly overall floor defense, I think Wamai. Cade, very easy to use, decent guns, nitro, and his utility is very simple and straightforward. Capkin, there's a reason why all the console players ban Capkin is people will be walking into doors without droning. You get free kills, get your freebies, and you have a good gun, decent speed, and a nitro. Callie, don't do it. No. Legion S tier. Oh yeah, we get the Legion of the S tier. Legion is one of my favorite operators personally. You got T5, you got some decent speed, you got the impacts, you got traps you can throw literally anywhere. You got 9 of them. You can throw them on a door here, you can throw them on a staircase there, that one there. You can throw them all over the place, and you're going to know exactly where everybody's coming from. So you're not going to get flanked or crouch walked up on. Lion is an easy S tier now to me. Lion is probably going to be one of, in fact, I'll probably place Gridlock just slightly lower because she doesn't have the entry speed. But Lion does have that 2 speed. He has a really good ability for the entry. You scan and you push somebody in, and he has grenades. So Lion is a good entry now. Like, I personally plan on playing a little bit of Lion on the entry. You drone in, you go in, you win that entry, use that ability, and then you grenade the utility off. Like, you're gonna be good to go. Maestro. I'm placing Maestro at S tier because his gun has always been good. He has a bailiff. He has impacts. And he has 3 goddamn cameras. Like, I know cameras aren't super strong in the current meta, especially solo queue, but 3 cameras is insane with how hard it is to grenade them off of a wall. His cameras are nuts. I'm placing him at S tier because I feel like Maestro is going to be one of the strongest defenders going into Operation Deep Freeze. I don't even care if it's a solo queue list. I'm placing Maestro at S. He's the Gon. He's losing the Gon. He's getting grenades. Maverick, one of the easiest ways of countering Tubarao. Maverick would be a little bit lower, especially solo queue, but I'm going to place Maverick a little bit higher because you can help get the wall from the Tubarao. Lucy is going to be a fairly high operator on the list. She's slow, but Banshees are always going to be good for solo queues, so your team isn't going to need their stuff pushed in. Mira, very simple and easy, straightforward operator to understand, but she's got a little bit of a nerf, which people can... Any attacker utility that burrows in, like an Ash Breach or a Kali that goes into a wall, it will now crack the glass. So Mira is going to be slightly worse, but not super bad. She's still going to be good. But paired with like a Wamai, you can still keep a mirror window up for quite a bit. Montaigne shields in solo queue land are just not generally, doesn't normally go over very well, but it can go over well, so never know. Mozzie, I'm replacing the beats here because this really depends on the player. If you can shoot, if you're running around high speed, octane, and you're shooting, it can be good, but it can also be very mid. So it's up to you as the player. Mute, I'm placing aids here. His utility is good. He's a shotgun, SMG 11, decent util, nitro. But you're a 3 armor with a shotgun and SMG 11 combo, which is close range engagements, and sometimes that's not going to be good in the solo queue land. Sometimes you just have to take a fight that you just do not have the equipment to take. Knock, I just feel like he's just, you know, could be good, could be bad. It's just not super good vibes. Nomad, 8 tier. Nomad is a good gun. Flashbangs, air jabs to watch your own flank, and can't really go wrong with that. Nomad's been really good. She has Ayana's old gun, the ARX, with the vertic grip, and she has not been nerfed. Ayana had it taken away because it was too strong, but Nomad still has it, so. Oryx could be good, could be bad, depends on the player, but I just feel like if you're gonna pick Oryx, you might as well just pick Legion. I don't see the vision. Legion has a shotgun to make rotates. I just don't see the vision if you're picking Oryx. Unless it's like a map like Bank, where there's a lot of verticality for retake situations, then maybe, but Osa, I see a lot of newer players picking Osa as their go-to pick because Osa is like outside the wall with, like, you know, you're safe behind your shield and whatever. I think Osa does have frag grenades as well now. So if that is the case, I am going to place Osa just a little bit higher up on the list. Osa frag grenades. I'll just do a quick little search. Yeah, Osa has frag grenades. That was the last operator I was missing. Osa is going to have frag grenades, and Osa, decent guns, frag grenades, shields. I mean, pretty good combo. You can kind of, I don't know, like, can be a pretty good combo. Can be a good combo. I mean, just think about it. Like, you set up your shields for your support players outside the breaches, and then you open up the wall, and then have you ever played Clubhouse outside Cash, and there's a shield looking at you at green door, and it's like you, Osa, and the thermite next to you, and you're like, well, what do we do now? Well, now you can just grenade it yourself. You don't have to ask someone over to come help you. You can just do it yourself. So, but she does have EMPs, and then you ask the question, how are we going to get the wall open in the first place? You need another person with EMPs, and you're like, you know, it's a little tricky. You got to ask yourself, what do you need to bring that round? So I do like that aspect of, there's a lot of things that you could potentially bring. You have to really think about it. Do I need an EMP this round? Do we need frag grenades this round? Having to swap your kit up and down is actually kind of a good feature I kind of like. Pulse and solo queue can be really strong. Can be not really strong, but UMP that's stable as hell, and a nitro, and the ability to scan people, not always bad, but could be kind of lackluster. Rook, here's Doc. Rook, easy S tier. No, Rook's not an S tier, bro. Rook, I'm placing down at C tier. His ability just kind of mid. It's just kind of mid. Sens. So I'm doing a hot take right now. I am doing a hot take. Sens S tier. Yeah, I did it. Sens S tier. The gun has been buffed massively. It is very stable like the PDW now. You have 4 flash smoke grenade things. That's you get basically free entry or ADS and my burn. Think ahead. And then you get 2 frag grenades. This is gonna have frags now. You can burn the ADSs and my disc and then throw the grenades in, throw another smoke, and just walk in with a good gun, and you're a 3-speed. Just go nuts. Woo! Yeah, Sens is an S tier, bro. I'm sorry. I see the vision. I see the vision. Really think about it. Sens is the ideal entry in deep freeze. Sens should not have frag grenades, but I'll take them. Sledge has been S tier forever. Sledge is always gun, self-destruction, unlimited, grenades. I can't ever put myself in a position to move Sledge lower because I just really love his reliability. Smoke, at least in solo queue land, I'm going to place him not S tier. I'm going to move slightly down because sometimes you're going to be in a situation kind of like Mute where you're just in an unwinnable situation that's going to suck. Police. I am not going to play Solus at S tier like my gut wants me to. I'm going to play Solus slightly down. Solus is still really strong, but in solo queue, I'll see a lot of people playing like Macy J style where they're going to be underneath, but they get complete control of sight and then they just plant anyways. Solus underneath, desperately trying to find the diffuser. Don't be that guy in solo queue land. Don't be that guy. Shoot the cams. Annoy the hell out of the attackers. And if you need to get it back, get back. The Solus is still really strong. Tachanka. I'm going to play Tachanka at C tier. I just think Tachanka's ability is mid, but his guns are really good. But his ability is mid, and you don't use it very often in a real way. Thermite is A tier in solo queue land. I just think these breaches are a little bit safer. You're very exposed and in danger when using this. So just slightly lower in my eyes. I don't really think Thermite's a bad hard breacher. I prefer his breach on outside walls for how big they are. But you are very exposed when using his breach versus the other two. Thatcher is an easy S tier. It's very easy to use, understanding operator. Thorn, I am going to place the Thorn at I want to place Thorn in B tier, but I'm looking at the B tier yeah, I'm gonna place Thorn B tier. Amazing gun speed. Traps are a little mediocre, so that's why it's B tier. But if the traps are slightly better, I'd probably place her up higher a little bit. Thunderbird, in the current meta, I just don't see a point in Thunderbird, but I know the console players are going to be really mad if I place Thunderbird at D tier. So I'll place Thunderbird at C tier. You're welcome, console. Thunderbird is just, if I ever see a Thunderbird on my team on PC, I am eyebrow raising and looking at them sideways. Like, why not just go Doc? Valkyrie. Thorn has a shield and wire. Yeah, so Thorn's not bad. I mean, Thorn's really good. A lot of times we'll bring Thorn is because we want to have a shield. Because Smoke can't have one. So, and that player on Thorn's going to go off and drop kills. Vigil, Vigil is D tier. I can't. You know what? I'll place Vigil at D tier. I'll do it. Vigil, I just don't think really brings much, especially in solo queue line. You're just kind of running around. Your ability, you can't get droned, but just bring something for, like, bring a Thorn. If you're gonna roam like that, just go Thorn. Bring your team Barbed or a shield or something with traps, and then go roam. You're bringing them nothing. Unless you drop kills, you're doing absolutely nothing for your team. Bender, easy S tier. His ability is so damn annoying, and even when you're solo queue, it's still damn annoying. Warden, I gotta place Warden around that B tier range, because again, it's kind of like the Vigil, but Warden just has a little bit more going on with the Nitro. That Nitro carries, and he has better guns. Dylan with the prime sub, let's go, baby! Ram is a very easy and simple vertical operator. Don't really put yourself in danger. You don't really have to really go in all the way. So I'm going to place the Ram at the A tier because it's probably the best operator for the top down. But it's going to be very hard to play your top down if you're alone. So just be wary of where your team's at. Valkyrie, I want to place Valkyrie at S tier so dang bad, but camera-based operator, you're really hoping your teammates are watching these cameras, so I'm going to place Valkyrie just down 1 tier. MPX and Nitro, still amazing. Cameras are always nice, and you can play off your own cameras, but just be careful you're not getting pushed while you're on your cameras. Ying easy S tier. Ying is amazing operator. Just start that domino effect. Just in. Zero is kind of that Swiss Army knife. He can deal with everything on his own. I'm placing him in the middle. Good gun. Gone 6. Cameras all day that can destroy some things. Hard breach charge. He can kind of do it all. He's not the best at anything, but he can do everything. So he's, to me, is the ideal solo queue operator. So in fact, I will place him a little bit higher because he can do basically everything. I'm not going to place him in S tier because he's not the best at anything, but he can do a little bit of everything. Bill will be S tier now because you can't really nade below, but Ash can do that. When you talk Zoph, Zoph is still a really good operator. I'm placing Zoph at least at A tier because when I think entry operators, I'm not thinking 3 armor operators normally. Even though Sledge is up there, I think Sledge is just... Do I do it? I just think Sledge's gun is more reliable than Zoph is. I'll say it. Sledge just has a more reliable gun than Zoph. I think... Fine. I'll just play Zoph at S. I convinced myself. All right, guys. Here is the solo queue operator tier list for Operation Deep Freeze. Let me know down in the comments if you would move an operator up or down. But let me be clear about that one. If you were like saying, hey, Warden should be A tier or Warden should be C tier, we basically agree. But if you're saying like an operator, like let's say I have an operator on B tier like Mozzie and you think he should be S tier, then let me know why. But if you're just talking about an operator going up or down, you're close to my rationale. But if you're like Vigil should be S tier, then let me know why, because I'm curious. And make sure to subscribe and leave a like down below for more. Peace out. Until next time.